I believe I'm one of the many people that call her Ivy, but her name is Iveren Terrumun. I hope I pronounced it correctly. So she'll be talking to us about pressure, and of everything that she'll be talking about, what I'm most excited about is her experience on pressure, specifically positive and negative pressure at the same time. That's what I would love to hear. Apart from that, we'll be learning a lot from her wealth of knowledge on how to handle pressure. I'm excited to hear from her, and I'm sure you are excited too. So listen and jot.
Hi everyone, I'm Iveren Terrumun, a child of God, university student. I'm someone that likes to share the right knowledge I have with others because I love to see others live right so as to get the best out of life. And today I'll be talking about pressure, peer pressure as it's commonly known, but not limited to. And I'm excited to be doing this on this podcast channel named Dine with Chenemi. Thank you, Chenemi, for this opportunity. I'll be talking about pressure in a bit under the following subheadings: meaning of pressure, facts about pressure, statistics on pressure, types of pressure, my experience regarding positive peer pressure, which is one of the types of pressure, and finally, ways to overcome pressure.
Gang. Did you people hear that outline? This is one full lecture. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to write and learn no because she's ready for us.
Pressure is influence exerted on someone by his or her peers, by what is happening in his or her environment, makes he or she do what he or she would normally not do, which is usually against his or her beliefs, whether right or wrong. Facts about pressure. Pressure is subtle. It could be pressurized without even knowing. And you get to hear more about this when I talk about the types of pressure and statistics on pressure. From my research, 88% of high school students feel pressure. And this is not limited to just high school students, but my research showed me that spoke more about high school students, and not only high school students are pressurized. But let's go on. 70% of teenagers smoke because of peer pressure. Like when they are asked why they start smoking, they'll say, "Oh, I was pressurized by my friend. I was pressurized by seeing everyone smoke around me." 55% of teenagers go into doing hard drugs, go into taking hard drugs because of peer pressure. And there are many other examples of peer pressure that people go through, not just teenagers, but also adults. And adults can do the wrong thing because everyone is doing it around him. Yeah, peer pressure doesn't only affect high school students or teenagers, it affects everybody regardless of age or status. But having the right knowledge about pressure, we can always overcome it. I'll talk about that when I go to ways to overcome peer pressure.
She's narrowing her talk on pressure to peer pressure, which is something that we have to talk about. If it affects virtually all parts of life. And there are two things she said that really struck for me. That you can be pressurized without even knowing. Very, very true. And peer pressure is not only applicable to teenagers and children, but adults face peer pressure as well. Like for reals. If you do not believe me, then do you remember the last time you said my mates are? The moment you begin to say my mates are, pressure is already coming. Pressure is already coming for you. Pressure is already coming.
Now to types of pressure. We have spoken and unspoken pressure, which can also be termed direct and indirect pressure respectively. So spoken pressure, as the name implied, entails someone telling you what to do that is opposite what you've been doing, or that is opposite of your opinion, an opposite of what you know to be right. So let's say you don't drink, you don't smoke, and someone literally tells you, come and smoke, or someone literally tells you, why are you not smoking? And the person is putting that pressure on you, that is direct pressure, that is spoken pressure. And now, indirect pressure, you don't get to hear anybody telling you anything. You don't get to hear anybody saying anything to you in any way. The pressure is subtle, the pressure is quiet. You are just pressurized by what you see, you're pressurized by what is going on around you. No one is telling you, come and do this or don't do this. No one is telling you, put on that indecent wear. No one is telling you, don't read your books. No one is basically not telling you, don't do the right thing. But because of what you see around you, you are pressurized. And the thing about pressure is that if you are the only one doing something that is right, or let's say something that is different, it will be hard to stand. We have to build stamina. We have to build strength in our decisions. We have to build strength in what we know is right. So whether someone is around you or someone isn't around you, whether you have people that are doing the right thing with you or people that are doing that thing that is different from what other people is doing, or not, whether you have this kind of people around you, you'll be able to stand your ground. And I'll be giving reasons why you should actually stand your ground, why you should actually stay with your own right decision and not give in to direct or indirect pressure or spoken or unspoken pressure.
You see this unspoken pressure, but that is very, very indirect. I think that it's the most dangerous type of pressure in terms of the negative aspect. That is, if the pressure is to do something negative. Because if it's spoken and it's direct, okay, at the end of the day, when things go south, you can easily say it was this person. You can put blame on somebody. You can say it was this person that told me, that forced me. Like, you can, it's not really fair, but there's somebody that you can hold accountable in a way. I don't want to say accountable, but like, you can put the blame on somebody, right? But you see, unspoken pressure, where from where? There is no explanation you can even give. You will explain tired, there will be no evidence. There is no explanation you want to give. Because nobody directly told you, hey, you must do this, or they try to cajole you or something. Nobody. It was from the actions of those around you. You made that decision yourself. Even with spoken, you make the decision yourself. But then it's easy to identify what has influenced that decision. But with unspoken pressure, it is more difficult to specifically identify what influenced the decision. So it's quite difficult to throw the blame to somebody.
I mentioned earlier that I was going to talk about my experience regarding positive peer pressure. So during one of my holidays recently, I was scrolling social media and I found out that everybody is reading a book. My dad actually built the reading culture in me, so reading wasn't something hard for me. I read a whole lot of books while I was a little child, like when I was less than 10. I read storybooks, I read a whole lot of books, and I outgrew storybooks. I continued reading other books on various topics. So I would go to his library, I would ransack the place, I would look for books that caught my attention. These ones weren't storybooks any longer, weren't novels. They were books based on Christian literature, books based on history, books based on counseling, because my dad is a guidance counselor, so he had such books in his library. So reading wasn't a problem for me. But along the way, I got into senior secondary school and I didn't have time to read those other books. I was busy with chemistry, I was busy with physics, I was busy with math, and I'm not really going to blame them, so to say, but I didn't have that time to be reading a wide range of books any longer. So I was kind of losing interest in other books. I only had time to read academic books, and even when I came back home, social media took my time. So this previous holiday, this holiday that just passed, I was trying to rebuild the culture of reading other books, and I was still reading magazines, but I wasn't going back to my dad's library to ransack the library to check for other books based on other topics to read any longer. And on social media, I found out that people were reading books. People were reading books based on financial knowledge, emotional intelligence, spirituality, and all of that. And I was pressurized. I was pressurized because while I was spending time on social media, I was learning a whole lot. I follow good people on social media. They post a lot of things. I've learned so much from social media ever since I joined social media like 2, 3 years ago. I've learned so much from social media. Many things I say, the good things I know are from people that I follow on social media. And social media was, should I say, draining me. It was taking my strength. I was learning. It wasn't just me enjoying social media. I was unlearning. I was relearning. It was taxing my brain. So I needed something to rest. I needed a novel to read. I didn't need another spiritually inclined book that will still tax my brain. I didn't need another emotional intelligence book or financial knowledge book to tax my brain any longer. I needed a book that will make me rest. Maybe a comic or just something nice that will make me just rest. After spending hours on social media learning from a whole lot of good people, I needed to just rest. But when I see the books that other people are reading, I'll be like, you cannot be reading those books. People are reading other books. The pressure was really subtle. It was unspoken pressure. It was indirect pressure. People are reading other books on other things, and you are craving novels. Like, you're not supposed to read that. See your peers, see your seniors, see your mates reading other books and helping their lives, are building their lives. But me, I'd already learned from social media. I've already learned from other people online. I've already taxed my brain enough, and I needed to rest. So unspoken pressure got to me, and I went to my dad's library and I picked a book that was based on financial knowledge. And let me tell you something, I have not read that book up to half, up till today. I've not read it because I needed to rest. I needed to rest. That was kind of positive, negative pressure. I knew what I needed, but I didn't follow it because I was pressurized to do something else. So for me, it was positive pressure for them to encourage me to read. Yeah, their actions were pressurizing me to read. And it was negative pressure because it was not letting me do the right thing for myself. I wasn't doing what I wanted to do. I was basically doing the wrong thing for myself. Now, reading novels isn't bad. Reading books that improve your knowledge about other good areas of life isn't bad. But my situation was peculiar, very peculiar. So that's my experience on positive, negative pressure.
What an experience. This is actually the first time I'm hearing that someone is pressurized positively and negatively at the same time. In fact, you see, this positive pressure, we don't talk about it a lot. When you just talk of pressure, especially peer pressure, the only thing that is coming to everybody's mind is smoking, negative things. But then there's positive pressure. And then I'm hearing positive and negative pressure at the same time. Interesting. This whole story just reminds me of that saying that just because something is good does not mean it is right for you. So before you do anything, you should ask yourself, first of all, is this good? Is this a good thing to do? Generally, is it good? Even though good, definition of good is relative. Some people see some things as good and others see it as bad based on culture. That's another topic for another dish. But generally, is it good from where you come from your society, from your point of view? Is it good? Then after identifying if it's good, the next thing you should be asking yourself, is this the right thing for me to do? Because something can be good, but it is not the right thing for you to do at that point in time. For example, if you are not married, sex is good in itself. I will continue to say it and preach it repeatedly. All of you here, sex is good in itself. But is it the right thing for me to do now that I am not married? No. So at that point in time, it is not the right thing. It's a good thing, but it's not the right thing to do for you at that point in time. I just had to bring this particular example because there are so many people that think that let's just leave that talk. And you shall understand what I'm saying. We're talking about pressure. Okay, so you see, it's not easy to handle pressure. When pressure will come, it's not easy. But I'm rooting for all of us. I believe that we can overcome pressure. All of us, we can do it. We can do it. How are we going to do it? Ivy is going to tell us. But before she tells us, she will tell us the difference between positive and negative pressure. In case you are wondering how I know, she had recorded it and sent it to me, then I listened to it. Before you start saying, if you like, say what you want to say. But then she'll tell us how to handle pressure. But before she does that, she's going to talk about the difference between positive and negative pressure, because she didn't say that. She didn't state it before.
For a minute, I forgot to talk about positive pressure and negative pressure. So positive pressure is the influence exerted on someone that makes he or she to do the right things. Like you've been taking carbonated drinks that is full of sugar, and you now get to be in the midst of people that take right drinks. They don't take carbonated drinks all the time. They are taking the good drinks. They're taking the ones that don't put so much sugar in their body. And because of you seeing them doing the right thing, you getting to know that, okay, I'm not supposed to take this much sugar. You change and you start behaving well. You're in school and you're not reading, and you get to have a friend that reads. You get to have classmates that are studious, and you're like, I'm the only one that is not studying. Let me become like my classmates. That is positive pressure. So you've been, let's say, pressurized positively. The pressure has brought something good. It is not something bad. Therefore, negative pressure, which I think I've spoken about a little bit, is pressure that makes someone do the wrong things, makes someone do something opposite of his or her beliefs. You have rules and regulations, you have values for your life. When this pressure comes, it makes you do what is opposite of the right thing that you've been doing. You do the total opposite of the right thing that you've been doing. You've not been taking carbonated drinks, but you get to meet people that taking carbonated drinks that is full of sugar, and you start taking carbonated drinks. That is negative pressure. Yeah. So I guess I've done justice to positive and negative pressure now. Finally, ways to overcome pressure. After talking about the meaning of pressure, facts about pressure, statistics on pressure, types of pressure, and my experience regarding positive, negative pressure, finally come to ways to overcome pressure. So anytime you're pressurized to do something, one thing you have to do is state your reasons why you've not been doing that particular thing. If you've not been eating indecently, state your reasons why you've not been dressing indecently. Have you been dressing decently to please God? Have you been dressing decently because you know it is right? State those reasons. Say them to your hearing. Write them down, because pressure can change people totally. It changes people so bad they become a total opposite of who they've been. So it is not too much to state your reasons. It's not too much to write them down. It's not too much to say them to yourself, to your hearing. Anything that you will do that will make you not to change from being a good person, you have to do it so that you will remain that good person that you've been, and you will live the right way. So state the reasons why you've not been doing that wrong thing. For, let's say, dressing indecently, state the reasons why you've not been dressing indecently. Secondly, state the benefits of the right thing that you've been doing. An example again, state the benefits of dressing decently as opposed to dressing indecently. So by the time you state those benefits, you will see what you've been enjoying over the past years, over the past months, over the past weeks, depending on the time from when you started doing the right thing, or let's say you're doing the right thing all your life, maybe or maybe not. but state those reasons, and you will see that, oh, I've actually been doing well. I've actually been enjoying the benefit of doing this right thing. So by the time you say those benefits, you see that it is not worth doing the wrong thing. You will lose those benefits. You will lose those good things. You will lose those benefits of doing the right thing if you change to do the wrong. If you give in to that pressure. So state the benefits of doing the right thing. State them to your hearing. Write them down. Read them, because pressure doesn't come with pity. It comes fully. Whether I've spoken or unspoken, it comes fully. So you're supposed to fight it back with all strength. Then speak to someone that is wiser, not necessarily older. So if the pressure is getting too much and you feel that you are trying to give in to this pressure, you're trying to feel that, oh, what this person is bringing to me is the right thing. That's for negative pressure. Speak to someone older. Speak to someone wiser. Speak to someone that has been doing the right thing over the years. And the person will encourage you. The person will encourage you to stand your ground, to continue doing the right thing that you have been doing. And thirdly, state what it will cost you if you go on to do the wrong thing. You've been dressing decently, but now pressure comes and you want to start dressing indecently. State the cost of dressing indecently. You've been drinking well, you've been drinking the right things, but now you want to start drinking alcohol. State the cost of drinking alcohol, the disadvantages of taking alcohol. You've been living a free life of smoke, you've not been smoking, but now pressure comes for you to smoke. State the cost of smoking. What will smoking cost you? So by the time you state the cost of the wrong thing that you're about to put yourself into, you will see that it is not worth it, and you will continue living the right way. Yeah. With this, I believe I've done justice to the topic pressure. I believe that anyone who listens to this will find value and will be able to implement the ways to overcome pressure when it comes, because it is inevitable. Thank you again, Chenemi, for the opportunity to talk about pressure on your podcast channel. It was a pleasure doing this.
Thank you so much, Ivy, for doing justice to this topic on pressure, for taking out time as well to do this and saying yes to my invitation. Thank you so much. I really do hope you can come back to be featured on this podcast again. I'll be dropping all of our social media handles, so please follow Ivy on each one of them that you identify with. There are educative posts that she drops on Facebook, I know of that, and I'm sure on her other social media handles as well. So please follow her there, depending on the one you love using the most, or if you don't follow all, that is also perfect. Follow us too, Dine with Chenemi. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and you can follow me on my own personal account. I'm on Facebook and Instagram as Chenemi Agbata. Great people, all of you have heard now. We don't hear, I don't hear. The next time that pressure comes, especially in the negative aspect, you have to first of all ask yourself some questions. Before you make any move, ask yourself questions. Number one, why was I not doing this before? If I continue doing what I am doing, what will it profit me? That is what I'm doing, oh, because you're actually doing something normally, and then there's a pressure to not do that thing, to do another thing. So that one you were doing before, what were the benefits? What were you even gaining from there? So you tell yourself, remind yourself of all the things you were gaining from all the things you were doing before. Then you ask yourself, if I decide to do this new thing, what will I really gain? So you tell yourself clearly, tell yourself the plain truth, to be honest. This thing can backfire though, because I know some people will not be honest with themselves, but try to be honest with yourself. And because it is difficult for people to be honest with themselves, sometimes it is most advisable, just like she said, to speak to a wiser person, a mentor. Don't be in a rush to do that thing. I also want to add that sometimes we see some things as good, but they're not really good. This is the importance of speaking to someone higher, someone wiser, to a mentor. And this mentor could be anybody, but it should be somebody that to some extent you trust and that person is credible. And if after you did all of this, you decided, I'm still going to chook head inside that hot water, I am still going to do that bad thing, okay, at this point I would say you need Jesus. That's just it. Okay, thank you to all my old and new listeners. Thank you so much for listening till this very point. Please don't forget to share a nice comment either here on Spotify, or you can share a comment. We're on Facebook and Instagram at Dine With Chenemi. So you can send a direct message to just say something about this episode. Good, bad, and ugly. Say it. Anything. One word, full sentence, full paragraph, whatever. Just say it. Just don't listen without dropping a message, without dropping a comment, without dropping a suggestion to, if you have suggestion to how this podcast could be better. And if you also want to do collabos with me, you want to be featured on the podcast, you want to talk, the floor is open for you to just send a message to Dine With Chenemi on Facebook, on Instagram, or you send a comment, make a comment, a response here on Spotify. I really do hope you learned one or two things. I really did enjoy this podcast. That's my greatest wish, hope, prayer. See you in the next 2 Sundays and Happy New Year! Hey, I didn't even acknowledge that this is the first episode of the year. Now, wow.